So, good morning. This is the Friday Fireside, and we are here with Clint Stinchcomb, who is the president and CEO of CuriosityStream. Clint, how are you this morning?
Terrific, Rick. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So, where are you right now?
We're in Silver Spring, Maryland. So that's where we're headquartered. We have people who work for us in New York and LA, and obviously other states around the country, and even who help around the world. But this is our headquarters.
And given that I saw somebody else get on camera right before you did, I'm assuming you're actually in the office.
We have, CuriosityStream was deemed an essential business. We did a lot of work around Corona. Believe it, we did 6 great specials out of Curiosity Studios, and then with partners like the NHK. So we were deemed an essential business. So there's a core group of us who've been able to come into the office through the pandemic. Really thankful to those people, and it's been obviously really important for us as a as a service that's available in 175 countries, and with a distributed service that's in 83 countries. Really important to have a core group of people in here on a daily basis. So it's been good.
Well, tell us a little bit about CuriosityStream. How did you get started? What do you do? What do you do? All like such as that.
CuriosityStream was founded by John Hendricks, who founded Discovery and Discovery Communications. He started thinking about it, I would say, probably 10 years ago. I mean, he's always been a guy that's been able to see around the corner and see video trends. And 2014, he left Discovery to start CuriosityStream. He launched it in 2015 with a vision of becoming, the premier destination for true, pure, factual entertainment. And so we program to the full category of factual entertainment, which we define as science, technology, history, natural history, society, and lifestyle. I mean, if you look at the history of television, there've been 3 to 4 big categories over the years: sports, general entertainment, movies, and factual programming. And so, just as Netflix has led the factual streaming, or the streaming revolution as it relates to movies, and now certainly general entertainment, and just as Hulu kind of pioneered the opportunity for people on a streaming basis to see what they missed, in the form of kind of syndicated, akin to syndicated television going back several years. We're committed to being the factual solution as it relates to streaming.
Cool. So, by the way, there's a dinosaur licking your ear right now.
Dinosaurs are great. They always deliver.
Dinosaurs are great. So, how much of your content are you producing versus licensing from third? I guess you would call them third parties.
Yeah. We have we offer about 3,100 titles today. about a third of those are originally produced, meaning we produce them through Curiosity Studios or in partnership with production companies around the world, and then about 2/3 of the content, about 2,000 titles, are acquired. And so, Rick, because so many networks kind of pivoted away from their original factual charters, to move more into reality programming and more into general entertainment programming. Right. In 2015, when John started CuriosityStream, there was a lot of great content on the factual side available from world-class producers like the BBC, like NHK, TV France, Z, et cetera. And that dynamic still exists today. We work with about 140 different production companies and distribution companies around the world as it relates to populating our content. And so we'll be opportunistic in regard to content acquisitions, because there's a lot of great content out there that people just have not seen. And then we'll obviously do a lot more on the original side as well.
So I know that one of the key concepts of content production and distribution is windowing. Yeah. Do you then take what you produce and license it out elsewhere after you're done with it? And are you taking things that how does that all work for you all?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, right? And we just saw Disney reorganize with that sort of windowing in mind, for
Absolutely.
Sure. So they create content for themselves and for multiple platforms, as does Viacom and CBS. And so in our case, historically, CuriosityStream would acquire a title, put it on our platform, and it would just it would stay there forever. What we've evolved into is, obviously we want CuriosityStream to be the premier factual destination around the world. At the same time, for parts of the country that we can't monetize fully, sometimes we'll sell certain rights to our content there, and that can come in two ways. It might be a pre-sales construct where we would work with a company like Sky Studios, for example, or it might be licensing a collection of existing titles to help help a media company like for sake of example, like a Warner Media fill out some of their factual offerings. So we want to be a solution for consumers, for bundled operators, for brands, and for media companies as well. I mean, we also work with associations. We, kind of the only company that's fully dedicated to creating and distributing factual programming. We're not trying to be anything other than that. And we feel like those multiple avenues to content monetization, make our business a lot stronger than those, than most of the streaming services who are just overly reliant on one line of revenue, either subscription or advertising.
Well, you certainly have a strong position. So I think that position was part and parcel of how you did the recent investment round, which I will tell you I'm completely confused by. So maybe you can explain it to me and everybody else.
Yeah, you're not alone, Rick, at all. So we raised money at the end of 2018 via what was called a 144A investment vehicle. And to those shareholders, we promised that we would give them some kind of public currency over the next few years. And so the time came to do that in 2020, and we looked at traditional IPO route, and then we looked at the SPAC route as well. Special purpose acquisition company. What that is it's just it's an opportunity to merge with a company that has money. They bring money to the deal, and they're also already listed on a public exchange. And so what they offer a company like ours, and I think you'll see this increasingly, in the tech space for companies who have less than $1 billion a year in revenue. They provide a company like ours the opportunity to go public that has a lot of advantages over an IPO. So first, it's a faster process. If you go the traditional IPO route, I mean, it can be 6 to 12 months. Secondly, it costs considerably. Typically an IPO, there's a lot more costs associated. Right. And a deal like this, the bankers want to get paid, the lawyers want to get paid, accountants want to get paid, and everybody's got their hands out. Typically with a SPAC merger, the costs are a little less. Thirdly, it's the other thing we really liked about it was a little bit less strain on the management team. There's a massive amount of due diligence that goes into a SPAC merger, but not quite at the level that you have with a traditional IPO. Mm-hmm. Two additional items that were important to us. So price certainty. You have the ability to kind of negotiate your price before the deal closes. So right. That's really helpful, as you go to the public markets. And then lastly, and something important for us, is you're able to share forward-looking documents, which you can't do in a typical IPO. And so in our case, we're a real business with real revenue, and we're able to communicate to people kind of what's possible. That's another reason on, probably more on the negative side of the ledger. You see some of these companies go public that don't have any business at all, where it's like a electric truck company, for example. Yeah. And it's selling people in the future. But in our case, we had a strong existing business, strong backers, strong financial partners, and we've really built up a good, strong management team as well. So the SPAC route worked quite well for us. So what happens in that scenario is once you get through the formal merger process, and once you get through all of the investor calls, the one day, in our case, it was October 14th. We started trading as CURI on the NASDAQ, which before that it was SAQN, which was just representative of the blank check company software acquisition group that we merged with, who are great guys, by the way. They actually, they actually come from the streaming transportation business. So knew them, and it was a good cultural fit.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for that. I'm sure everybody will be replaying this and taking notes, because I have seen other SPAC announcements come out. They might have been there all the time, but after years, I sort of paid attention to them.
Yeah.
It appears to be a real honest to God thing that works for a certain size, as you say, of company that is up and running and wants to get into the market. So that's very cool. Okay. Pandemic, it whacked everybody in the spring, but television companies traditionally did a little bit better than most, because all of a sudden people were home watching TV. So what did it mean for CuriosityStream as we kind of worked our way from April forwards?
I think for CuriosityStream, it meant that, the first quarter of this year, we added more direct subscribers than the company did in its first 2 years of operation.
Wow.
Quarter, we added more than that. Now, some of that's due to the pandemic and people being at home, and we certainly promote to that, as it's just everybody else with a streaming service. But also, I think, had a lot to do with the fact that we'd hired a great head of marketing, and in November of the prior year, Devin Emery has a great background at Google, at Endeavor, and at Bedrocket, and then most recently at Cheddar, and helping build that company up to to be sold to Altice. So the part of the lesson for us is really helps to take your time and get really good people in that role. So it's had a great impact on our on our direct business. Obviously, we can't get out and travel quite as much, so I think the everybody on the team has gotten better at Zoom.
Like it or not.
Yeah. And we saved a little bit on T&E this year, Rick. So
well, I get that. So what does CuriosityStream look like moving forwards through the end of this year and into 2021? What's the future like for you?
Well, we see a path to hundreds of millions of paying subscribers over time.
Hundreds of millions.
And we won't accomplish that on a one-by-one basis, but we'll accomplish that through sort of thoughtful bundling partnerships, just as you see with Disney and Verizon, for example.
Right.
Disney and Hotstar in India. I think that the largest distributors don't want to be left out of the streaming revolution, and so what I think you'll see over time is a lot more bundling, kind of a reset on bundling content offerings. And so we're a global business. We're in 175 countries today with well over 10 million paying subscribers. We see that growing considerably, over the next several years. And again, the way that we're able to do that, as compared to a company like Quibi, for example, is we have we work with multiple bundling partners, ranging from wireless companies like for example, like a Verizon or like a China Mobile, all the way to StarHub in Singapore, the largest cable operator there. So we have a number of bundled relationships today. We anticipate that will grow, especially on the mobile side, as more mobile providers more aggressively embrace video. At the same time, we work closely with associations. You'll see some announcements about some association relationships that we have later this year. And I think what's exciting, Rick, and really interesting, and you can appreciate this for everything that you've seen over the years, is there's going to be, I think that people will buy compelling video services through a variety of means. I think there are companies that that will bundle video and that will offer certain video that that people would never have even contemplated a year ago. So I think that's exciting, and we're trying to figure out how to do a great job there. As our chief revenue officer, we recently hired is Bill Goodwin. We hired him in June. You probably aware of Bill.
I know Bill from his Discovery days.
Yeah, probably as arguably as competent executive as you'd ever find in that space. And he has a really good team working for him. But Corey Davis, A&E and Viacom's running our international business. We've got Damone Jones heading up our corporate and association business. So putting together, a really good group of people who work well together, and we're couldn't be more excited about the hand that we have and the future that's in front of us.
Well, I think I spoke to you at a CTAM something or other in Philadelphia shortly after you started all this, and I thought to myself, what in the world is he doing over there? But look what you've done.
We're the only one. Yeah.
You have built an extremely attractive and valuable and rapidly growing company and organization. So congratulations to you, man.
I appreciate that. Means a lot to me, Rick. I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is cool. All right, so we're all going to be watching, and we're just about out of time right now. So I'm going to end this. This will play this coming Friday. Friday Fireside actually airs on Friday. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So Clint Stinchcomb, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thanks for having me, Rick.
And everybody out there, be nice to each other.